Multiverse listeners, welcome to Catalog Review Show, and this will be our biggest dive yet. And you know how you can tell when it's a big dive? When there's only a couple people. Hey, what? Um,
Yeah.
Starman, what about those sound chameleons out there? Are you ready for an artist that fearlessly navigated the music multiverse since probably prior to 67, in all honesty, in a variety of genres, attempting innovativeness, provocation, whether you're proficient in the past progressive rock oddities or you felt the 80s deep glam and synth pop rock was your thing, or yeah, maybe you're a sharp industrialist with modal jazz fusion, or just join the experimental odyssey of Black Star, the final record. There are no boundaries, there are no guidelines for this. A massive catalog to cover, era to explore. What did it all sound like? What worked? What maybe didn't for some? This is a catalog review show that goes beyond music into the style, maybe eclecticism, even into music crafted for a novel. Get ready to review, rank the catalog of the international superstar known as David Bowie, who passed away actually in January of 2016 on the 10th. So that was at the age of 69, I want to say.
69. Yeah.
So a quote from him: even though I was very shy, I found I could get on stage if I had a new identity. Did he use that?
Oh,
Probably
be.
more so than any other performer in the history of music. Don't believe me? Look it up. I've made over 25 albums, and I think I probably made two real stinkers in my time, and some not bad albums, and some really good albums. I'm proud of what I've done. In fact, it's been a good ride. Well, I would agree with that after the 26 albums that I revisited, some of which I knew, some of which I thought I knew, and one of which I never knew even existed. Uh, and that's for other reasons. But hey, judging that statement alone, it's just myself and Mr. Crichton, Jeff Crichton. Hey, I even put in if we're gonna have multiple people, it says he wanted to add Tin Machine albums to tonight's show under extreme protest, but since it's just the two of us, he will get to talk about that as well. So I will kind of let you. There's going to be 26. We'll go to 26 to 20, get those out of the way. I'm not saying get out of the way, but I found this to be a very rewarding experience. I was thinking it was not going to go that way. I thought it was going to be work. How did you go? How are you? I mean, you're a Bowie fan. You've seen Bowie. Give us your.
All right. Here's the countdown. 26 is pinups.
Okay.
Okay. Why do a cover album? I don't know, but he did.
Is that is the one with the multiple covers of the same bands too, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
shares on the cover with him. Yeah.
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 No,
Yeah.
no, that's Twiggy.
No, that's share.
Twiggy.
Really?
I think
Okay.
so. Because I even made a comment in my notes. Did she just leave Jake Elwood behind that day? Was that the
Yeah, I don't know.
at the
But
hotel at the motel? Yeah.
that's 26 for me.
Okay.
27's the self-titled debut.
25 is the self-titled, the 1967. Okay.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
See,
20.
I'm going backward. I'm with the two Tin Machine records.
Oh, that's
Uh,
right. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Yep.
yeah.
I gotcha.
All
Yep.
right. 25 for me is, or what would it be? Oh yeah, 25 would be Lodger, low.
Oh, okay.
So as I said, the Berlin records not my favorite.
Yeah.
Uh, Never Let Me Down,
Yeah.
the Buddha of Suburbia,
Okay.
Tin Machine 2, and
Mm-hmm.
Outside.
Outside. Okay.
And
I'll let you.
the Buddha of Suburbia, which I had never heard until you popped it on the list. I said, "What the heck is that?" I thought I like I heard every single one of his albums, and I go to listen to that, and I said like, okay, he's he's going back to his experimental ways, which that album came out after both Tin Machine records, which I think after he had that pop success with with Tonight and Let's Dance, those two albums, and then Never Let Me Down came after those two, and I thought like okay, and then we went and did the Tin Machine records, which kind of like he experimented with that, and then he went back to making more experimental albums, and that's what that was. That I think Buddha Suburbia kind of hit it before all those other albums that came after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, held in check with by the record company, just selling it overseas and not even hitting the U.S. market until
Right,
what, a decade later, maybe.
something like that. So
93 was the year it was made, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So there we go.
All right. Mine will be a little bit behind yours because you got the extra. So my number 26 is Never Let Me Down. This is a covers record I always recognized. I don't understand why you make a covers record. Um, and I don't know. Besides, despite Frampton not used, it's a rock pop studio piece. Maybe I don't know. It just not even good versions of the songs. They sound like him, but they don't add anything to those. And you're going after giants with a scalpel. I don't know if that's what you want to do.
Artists do that when they have writing dry spells.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I will say though, he's not. This will not be the last time we talk about covers.
Right.
Um, my number 25 is Tonight from 1984,
Mm-hmm.
80s pop rock album that seemed to just it. I don't know if he made it because he had to. It just the creativity on it is just pure 80s. Here I go radio play. My number 24 is David Bowie's debut, No Identity. It sounds like everything else of the time. He's playing on the vocal. It doesn't reach, it doesn't transcend. It's kind of funny because when I mention these, number one and if his debut and the second one, in today's market, you probably don't have a career after that. But back in that,
No,
you'd be out, like no question.
and that's the
Um,
first time he used the name David Bowie
yeah, yeah.
because he was David Jones.
David Jones.
Davy
And then
Jones.
then there's the one. Well, we'll get to it. My number 23 is The Next Day. I have no notes on it. I don't know why I
Mm,
don't, but even I think even didn't want to do a cover. It's got the same cover as one of the other albums, just putting a white thing over it. I whatever.
yeah,
My,
his hits album.
yes, yeah. Reality 2003. Originally always a strong point, but none of the songs felt like they had the strongest connection to the post 9/11 idea.
Hmm.
Because he's a demigod in a way. He's a fashion guy. He's a mogul, and the post 9/11 thing he just didn't catch to me. And then my number 21, yeah, pinups covers album. The Mojo's cover is interesting to me. I think that's the one
Okay.
you know, and I put I can't explain why, but it's sort of cool.
Oh, funny.
Back to you. Go ahead.
All right, where are we going now?
I think you're at your number 20.
Heathen.
Ah,
Uh, Realty.
because you just so you know, you left off at one outside, right?
I left off outside. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Good. So you're on the same page.
Yeah. Heathen. Realty. Uh, Hours. Black Tie, White Noise.
Yeah.
Space Oddity.
Cool. Might find ourselves in the same sort of predicament.
Yeah.
My number 20 is Hunky Dory. I'm not sure
Ah,
I find much here because it came out after The Man Who Sold the World. I don't know if he was trying to put it has a Rolling Stones recording vibe to it. And I was like, The Man Who Sold the World is that was the one that got my attention, after
uh-huh.
those first several records. So I don't know if Hunky Dory was a kind of setback, but I know that in the scheme of the outside world, that would not be a popular place for that record. Um, my number 19 is yes, Space Oddity. What's odd about it? It seems, I don't know, maybe how uncomfortable it felt overall. Again, pieces and showcases in small places of what might have happened. It's sort
Right.
of like a hockey player who's in his second year of development. You're like, oh, he made a great play there. Where's he been the last 6 games? And yeah, maybe that's how I see it.
Yeah.
My number 18 is Earthling. Um, I think I think that was the record that came after Outside.
Yes.
Musicality and it's more accessible, has more like a movable experience. Dance, there's jungle, there's a more primitive aspect to it. In retrospect, here, this is your Matrix music before the Matrix. This is what they would have
Hmm.
been playing in Zion. So there's even an alternative rock end to it, which I always liked about Bowie when he would get there. That work like Dead Man Walking and the leadoff track.
Yeah. I'm
Afraid,
afraid
but
of Americans.
yeah, Afraid of Americans has areas that seem stuck and out of place. And he in everything I read, biography and everything, he seemed to be scared of America. I don't think he liked it very much.
And yet he lived here.
Yeah. So my number 17 is Lodger. The final, yes, in the trio of the Eno records in that Berlin sessions or whatever it was. Bowie is trying to I don't know. It sounded like he's trying to take a lick at Peter Gabriel internationally, and there's a tech inspired approach to the vocal. It's clever, but I don't know. It's lost on me most of it.
Hmm.
This one's hard for me because I got trapped in like so. It's number 16 for me is Scary Monsters and Super Creeps,
Mm.
big 80s production, and you would have thought that the cover, when you saw it, that we were going super Bowie. Nope, Ashes to Ashes and Fashion keep this
Yeah.
one. They're
Great
the ones that
songs. Yeah.
yeah, great songs. So back to you for 15.
So I got Earthling
Okay.
the next day,
Mm-hmm.
Heroes,
Ah.
the first Tin Machine record,
Okay. I was wondering when that was going to hit.
and Black Star.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of.
And and
Yeah.
that Tin Machine record, I being a Bowie fan when that record came out, I felt like, okay, he's formed a band with the Sales brothers, Soupy Sales sons, Tony and Hunt Sales, who were did a bunch of session work.
Yeah.
They played with Todd, um, really good rhythm section, and then Reeves Gabriel, who was a great guitar player. And Tin Machine was a really solid, good rock and roll record. I liked it.
Yeah. It's kind of funny for me when I go through the record stores and in the used bins that one will show up from time to time,
I'm sure.
and then you're like sitting there going, that's really good. It reminds me of the Storm. Remember
Yeah,
the collection band? Like that was
yeah,
a really good record, but I'll see it in there be like 99 cents. I'm like, oh my God. Do you know the people that are on that?
yeah, yeah.
It's
And
sinful.
then the Black Star record was such a heavy, sad record to listen to. I think I might have listened to it three times tops.
Yeah.
Because the first time I heard it, I felt like, oh, okay, let's see what he's saying, on his deathbed. And oh my gosh, it's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. So him, obviously the Man in Black, Gord Downey,
Yeah,
uh, some of the most gorgeous exit records ever made.
yeah,
Although different in their the melodies, the mode, the units they used.
yeah.
Obviously, I kind of figured that Bowie. It seemed like he never left the electronica after it hit. Once Eno
Right.
was locked in, he still had. I mean, you go back, you too will say how influencing Bowie was on certain records in that
Yeah.
era, and I get it. I can hear it, and I get it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm at 15. Yeah, black tie, white noise, cutting edge music of the time. It's sort of a thing of him too, where he'll try to, you know, ante up to what's going on. Hip kind of thing, mid '90s contemporary hip hop. He's got acid jazz on there and the rhythm of it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, each song kind of contributes to this strange, weary world. I guess I don't know. Upbeat sadness. I guess I'll call that one. Hours. Okay, yeah. So Bowie goes adult contemporary.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's got a little bit of that emotional touch, and when he sings that way, I like that. And when he's not playing a
Okay.
character, he does that. And obviously, when it comes down to it, when we get to what you were talking about with Black Star, that's kind of what it's his voice. It's not somebody else saying it.
Yeah.
Um, The Buddha of Suburbia. I'm going to give you a little background. This is a soundtrack to a novel. I write novels. No one knows that they've never been published. Blah blah blah. Um, I've always said, why is soundtracks to movies? Why aren't there soundtracks to books? And when I wrote that into the URL, he came up. And I was like, well, that's probably not true, but yes, it's true. The novelist called him and said, "I'd love for you to." And some of the book is based on people like Bowie, in their personalities and stuff. So, but
Hmm.
jazz environment, it's kind of a technical piece, and there's an international sounds to it, in Indian. There's a lot on the record, and I find it pretty good at my number 13. Heroes at number 12. Danger when there's releasing two albums in the same year. Plus, when we do this, he was releasing an album a year.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, I would normally tell you failure is right around the corner because you just can't keep spitting out good shit all the time. I don't think.
You're,
Yeah.
he's he was prolific.
Yep. Yeah. It was
And
writing all
it's
the
kind of
time.
like, when I was working Prince records, and he was wanted to put out two records a year at one time, and had to tell him no.
Yeah. Yes. No. Yes. Hey, could you come back when that one's cooked? Okay, that's not. It's not cooked enough. It's a little raw.
Yeah.
And it was heavy. Heroes, I thought. Not sure how Heroes became the takeaway on the album with Slayers like Brian Eno and Fripp. I don't, I just
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. I don't know why it's in
Well,
quotes. Does anybody know why it's in quotes?
no,
Nah.
but he sang that at the Garden
Yeah.
after 9/11.
Yeah. Oh, that was like a rebirth too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, so here we are, Black Star, the exit. This is an excellent culmination of the position of David Bowie's legacy, his interpretation of meeting his final days. The intensity and musical positions are exhausting in most cases, spiritually edgy, and desperately mesmerizing. Again, though, with the electronica, that could be, that's not where he started, but that is certainly where he ended. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, all right. So you're back to number 10.
Okay. We got Aladdin Sane.
Ah, yeah. Good record.
It's a great record. That was his last Ziggy album.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's really good. Station to Station, which just celebrated its 50th anniversary of its release. Um, that record was brilliant. I was excited when that album came out, and it proved me right. And then I got back-to-back ones. The mid-'80s pop MTV David Bowie, produced by Nile Rodgers. I got Tonight at number 8, and Let's
Okay.
Dance is number 7.
What was number 7? Let's Dance.
Let's Dance.
Okay. All right.
And then at number 6, Scary Monsters,
Scary Monsters.
where he
Yeah, the
revisits where he revisits um, Space Oddity.
yeah, I got that point. I'm I'm at the man who sold the world.
Okay.
And I thought it was gonna. I had it at number six when I did this blind. I do it every time. I'll go, okay, I know these albums, and I just did it, and then
Mm-hmm.
it started to move because okay, so now there's definitely something. Third record or fourth?
Man Who Sold the World was three.
There's three. Okay. Um, even still trapped in a world of current radio position, though. In some cases, there's those pieces, right? Especially the man who sold the world. Um, my number nine was low. I like the experimentation, but the consistency in the recording and the volume is unholy. It's just, however, in a few moments that felt like the production was made from an Atari, and then Bowie holds this together. Really, I don't know how. Okay, so I'm going to say this. It might be completely untrue, unfoundable, or whatever you want to say. I think this man loved to record. I think he loved to mess with the how it's done. I think he the one I'm going to mention that's in my tops. One of the reasons it is because of the pure weirdness of the recording situation that he pulled off. And I
He
think
was
he
not
really enjoyed
conventional.
that. He loved that camaraderie, but I think it almost seemed like he was an introverted extrovert. He
Yeah,
liked certain confines to do it in. So that yeah, that's why this record, man, there's a avant-garde here that's just shades of what would come in the '90s for him, and the foundation for it that what carried right to the end. My number eight is Young Americans. He's not a funky guy. Well, who's he kidding? He's got funk all over these records, and a damn good notable funk. It's perfect for the time, the album, and in with the connection to the another audience being a little bit more real instead of Ziggy.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so but it's soaked in a Philadelphia sound. The
yeah,
man does I don't he doesn't like America. He's got this. It's Philly. I mean, you would have thought he was from Philly, and John Lennon's on that record, right? I think.
yeah. Lennon helped him write Fame. Yeah,
Yeah, it's odd, but it's an amazing kind of odd. I love it. I love it. Um,
I think Bowie and Iman. I'm trying to remember. They lived in the Dakota, so
oh,
so
okay.
so they might have been neighbors of John and Yoko. So
Yeah, I think there's
I'm not
something in there with
100% sure on
Jagger
that.
too later on, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
I know Lennon's one of Lennon's neighbors was Peter Boyle.
Oh.
So
My number seven is Diamond Dogs. The first track, I'm not sure what's happening with the recording and the refrain. There's some sort of like vibrato that, or not. It seems like it's cutting out. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it was my recording. Um, I find ourselves probably more completely drawn to the vocal here. It's a position. It's um, I glam rock era, right? That's
yeah,
put right in its place.
yeah.
Daring too in a lot of places. I kind of liked it, and the cover kind of tells you how it's going to go.
Hmm.
And then my number six is Station to Station. Aggressive, odd nature instrumentally. There are a few records that always had this instrumental start to them. I like that. Where it winds up, songs like Golden Years. It's like a time warp. There's a wormhole,
Yeah, yeah.
and even Stay. Where did that come from? Straight up blue soul. I thought Shaft was going to show up. I was like, so yeah. There's mine to six. Your
All right.
top five.
Young Americans. What a spectacular album from beginning to end. Um, Number four is Hunky Dory,
Okay. So
which
tell
I
me,
like that.
how am I at the opposite end of the spectrum?
I, I think with that and The Man Who Sold the World, those two albums kind of like he was coming
Yeah.
into his own. I like most of that album, and I think it's changes the song itself
Yeah.
helps catapult that
Okay.
album on.
So for you,
Um,
sometimes just so you when you're doing this, songs can just take that much of a hold, really.
yeah,
Okay, all right. That's because that
yep,
Ray does the same thing. I think when he
hmm
does,
yeah.
okay.
The Man Who Sold the World is three. Okay, let's see where I'm going here.
Yeah, I do.
Uh, Number two is Diamond Dogs,
Mhm.
because I just thought that was a great rock and roll record, just raw. You know, you talked about one of his albums sounding like the Stones earlier. Like to me, this
That
was
was it.
Bowie's Stones album. And then, you know, who wouldn't put the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust at number one, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I would.
Yeah. Oh, I. It's funny. I'm gonna read you now before I get to mine. I'm gonna read Ray because he did send. But what did he do? Only 10.
Okay.
So hey, I'll give him this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So at number 10, he had Heroes.
Okay.
All right. At number 9, he had The Man Who Sold the World. At number 8, he had Hunky Dory. Number 7, he had Young Americans. Number 6, he had Diamond Dogs. Number 5, he had Space Oddity. That would be the contrary to
I
both
think
of
he
us.
only knows that one song.
Yep,
I'd be
that's what I'm
surprised if
thinking,
he.
right?
I don't think he listened to any of these albums.
Let's Dance was number 4. He had
Okay.
Scary Monsters at 3. Yes, Ziggy's Stardust was his number 2.
Wow.
His number 1, and I was playing with this record all the time too, was Aladdin Sane.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I wish he would have, he could have explained why though, but he did give a shout out to Little Drummer Boy, Peace on Earth.
Okay. It was Bing Crosby. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Before I give you mine. All right, so my number 5 was, yes, Aladdin Sane. I think musically and compositionally, this is miles ahead. Investing in an improv like jazz piano fusion, title track is killer,
Yeah.
and we're still reaching inward and outward in progressive rock natures too. Expressions that are setting an identity. Again, he created another personality. All right, so he's singing in that personality. It's heavier too. Um, Cracked actor. Wow, I mean, there's
Yeah.
it's and a couple of times here, what was it? Time is a huge track too, and then we get to a Who meets Elton John with "Let's Spend the Night Together." I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what? Good, pretty clever. Okay, here's where I go off the rails for most.
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't get "Heathen" out of my head. I don't know why. Maybe it's
Wow.
because Neil Young's song is in there. I don't, and you got Townsend and David Grohl and he's got the cover of the Pixies Cactus, and he does a decent job of that too. I
Hmm.
don't know. And he kind of a reimagining this in like a 70s
Right.
production or the way he used to do things in the 70s. So and out the electronic is gone, and we're in 2002. So and then now speaking of that, I'm gonna go where Jeff Crichton does not like to go, outside. And the reason for this, I remember getting this record and going, just what the hell is going on, right? I thought that it was produced by Trent Reznor. I had no idea that Eno had returned,
Yeah.
to a certain degree, not full force, but it's electronic, it's industrial, it's got a narrative. It is the story of a detective trying to solve a murder, and of course, in true Bowie production, he crafts every single solitary persona in the entire scope of the project. He then gives everybody clue cards, like the board game Clue, and
Yeah.
sets them in the production, and everybody has their own little studio, and they have to craft this thing. I'm shortening it, right, for all intents and purposes, but the guy from The Cure made a huge impact in this era, right? I can't Reeves. Is it Reeves?
Robert Smith.
No, no, the guitar, the other, is it Reeves? I'll
I don't
I'll
know.
put it in the byline, but I was surprised at how often he was involved in these productions. I think he enjoyed it too. He's one of either the bass guitarist or one of the guitarists for The Cure. Um, Pet Shop Boys are on here. It's just got this creative curiosity. It's obviously more art than it is
Yes.
a listenable album in certain cases, but I honestly think it's probably one of the most bombastic concept records ever. I mean, in the making of it ever made. And I do like to listen to it because I'm trying to figure out if I'm getting it. And it's very, there are points of talking in it, some of the characters and stuff. But, and then my number two is the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. This is the identity, but I do get lost in the multi vocalisms. I do love his voice when he sings his way, but when he's doing these other voices, I'm a little less. But I understand how great the music is and the connectivity of it. And as a concept record, it's up there with some of the best of all time.
That album's a masterpiece, and
Yeah.
Mick Ronson's guitar playing is great.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not. It doesn't seem like it's stealing from anybody. I didn't feel
No,
like I'm listening to Pink Floyd. Oh, I'm listening to the. I
no,
know. I didn't feel that way. And this is
nope.
a hell of a departure from where we started. Really, even if you say Space Oddity. And all right, I was hoping Steve Scouten was going to be on the show because maybe he would save me. But my number one is Let's Dance. I hate the
Wow,
'80s, but I
wow,
love that record. I love that
really?
record. It's just pure environmental synth pop rock environment. There's great hooks, the lyrics, and he's using his voice. He's not, I just man, I if he was a pop rock star at that was the pinnacle of being out there and putting himself out there in that vein and vanity and it came off so well. Obviously, MTV did a really nice job of selling that to my soul. But
Sure. But that was a nice collaborative thing. He and Nile Rodgers,
yep,
you
yeah,
know, working on that record together, and it was a good fit.
yeah. I'm wondering, what he would, who would, other people that would have worked with him, maybe what would have transpired. There's a lot of. He never went with anybody who was like a massive record producer.
No,
Not not Rick Rubens, no the guy who did the Beatles, none of that. So
no.
he probably could have. Yeah, but he
Well, who
did take a
knows if
lot of the.
if he would have lived 10 more years, Rick Rubin might have called him and said, "Hey, let's make a record together."
Yeah, it's probably true. I'm trying to think how much Rick went into the electronic side. Not as much, I don't think. Trying to think when.
No, no,
Yeah,
he left that to Trent.
yeah,
So
yeah. Um. So when we get to this now, we're talking about an artist of is legendary, iconic, relevant, club level, opening act, faded memory. You've been a longtime fan. You've seen him. I mean, somewhere between iconic and legendary for you.
oh, he's iconic. He's what's higher, iconic or
Legendary
legendary?
is the highest. It's near
Okay, he's
perfection,
legend.
reliable, inventive, sincere, influential.
Bowie's a legend.
Hmm.
He's Yeah, without a doubt.
Is
He's
he?
he's a he's a legend. There was nobody like him in the music industry when he was around, and there's been nobody like him since.
Yeah, there's people who
And
have tried to emulate that, but never kept it. You know what I mean? They do it once, and I guess, the closest person in the flamboyance of creative music and and multiple characteristics in the rock environment, or that would probably be the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, who's crafted these wild stories that he's arced over several albums.
but he's
And
not even close.
no, but it's yeah, but that's the only person I can think of. And then people that are off the wall are just off the wall.
Well,
But
and during the mid '80s, here's a reminder for you. Bowie and Mick Jagger did "Dancing in the Streets," did a cover of that song, and it was terrible. But it was the two. It was the two of them singing a classic
and
track. Why not? Right?
why not? Wait, anything he threw to the wall was sticking at that point,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that was it's they. I think they were living near each other, or they were right.
I don't
Wasn't
remember, but I just, that just like jogged my memory when
yeah.
we were talking about legendary. I'm going like, oh yeah, did a song with a legendary guy too.
Yes. Yeah, I would say he in himself legendary. The albums can range from iconic to legendary. Um, um, he influential for sure from a
Yes.
standpoint of style of a not only he had a dressing style, right, but that kind of transcended into the music somehow. I don't know how that happens, but it does. And those people that can make that happen, that's Bowieism right there for sure.
Yeah.
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 When you go to this catalog, if you've not, you can start anywhere, but
Yeah.
you have to do the whole thing. Um, there are a couple of great Carlos.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I can't think of his last name. Very much the like Sting has his guy. David had his.
Yes.
Carlos is in a lot of the records, a lot of live show.
Yeah.
That might be a guy to find a rabbit hole and see what else he was attached to and things he did. And but that yeah, one of the true accompaniment that these artists like this need. So when you're as popular and as massive and write as much as this man has, I don't know if anybody's written any ever more than this. Because there were journals and all these things that they're still coming up with. And there's and I didn't really realize this until I was doing this. There's a wicked amount of like compilations and
Oh yeah.
live recordings that I didn't
Right.
even, I don't see them in the record store generally speaking. I see
And he
box
and he was the first person that was had a website where he was selling his stuff too.
selling his
He was
stuff.
like the
Yeah,
very
I
first artist
forgot
to do
about
that.
that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. He
yeah,
was he was brilliant,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
lived with Iman.
Yeah. So, well, I'll thank Jeff for 26 records. I mean, come on. If it, it's a task, but it's an enjoyable task. It's not like I gave you somebody like, we're going to go and do, what's his name? The hamburger and whatever guy. Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. Jimmy Buffett with 80, or Willie Nelson with 101 records. That's just, but
That
this,
would be a stretch.
yeah, this seemed very worth it to me. There's a lot of musicality, a lot of genres, and a lot of things that he tapped into, and a lot of people that
Hey,
wanted
we
to
could have done
emulate
the
him.
Miles Davis catalog. Now that,
Yeah, that's yeah.
like
Now
there's a
now
deep dive.
yeah. Now I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
uh, we're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course, and then we added TikTok because I'm an idiot. It's all about you know albums, bands, artists, anything we can get our hands on. Go beyond your radio. That's a real music appreciation channel. And I'll give you a hint. Next month, it's just a numbered band, and two of the numbers are duplicated. Thanks for watching and happy listening.